With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair and have a seat.
Over the past year, Cheryl has relentlessly targeted Caitlin Clark with odd accusations, claiming she's a 25-year-old competing against teenagers, downplaying her rookie season, and insisting no one wants to play alongside her. The criticism has felt nonstop.
Peers, they will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of hard, right?
And I used Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummy.
Then Cheryl Miller entered the fray. The basketball icon and former coach of Caitlin Clark delivered a knockout on the All the Smoke podcast, calling Swoopes a big dummy and tearing apart the false narratives piece by piece. With sharp clarity and unapologetic fire, Miller set the record straight. Her defense of Clark not only shuts down the noise but also hints at an exciting twist in the Indiana Fever's future that has fans buzzing. Ready for the ride? Let's dive in.
Time Player of the Year, two-time national championship, two-time tournament MVP, first woman to dunk in an organized game, gold medalist. Thank you for making time. Welcome to the show, Cheryl Miller.
Before we dive into everything Cheryl Miller had to say, let's take a step back. Have you ever wondered why one of basketball's most celebrated figures seems so fixated on tearing down the WNBA's brightest rising star? It's time to unpack the strange and persistent campaign Sheryl Swoopes has waged against Caitlin Clark, from her college dominance to her breakout rookie season.
Let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old.
It all began with Sheryl Swoopes spreading blatantly false claims about Caitlin Clark's college career. Her most outrageous? That Clark was a 25-year-old competing against 20-year-olds at Iowa. In reality, Clark was 22 and, like countless other seniors, simply finishing her fourth year. When the lie was exposed, Swoopes backpedaled, brushing it off as hyperbole tied to COVID eligibility rules, an excuse that fell flat and failed to justify the misinformation.
Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Carry on.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
But Swoopes didn't stop there. She went on to accuse Clark of taking 40 shots a game, painting her as a selfish volume scorer. In truth, Clark averaged just 22.7 shots per game. The irony? Swoopes herself averaged 19.2 shots during her own senior season, only 3 fewer than Clark. That's a classic case of throwing stones from a glass house. As Clark approached the all-time NCAA scoring record, Swoopes switched tactics again, this time questioning the legitimacy of the milestone by claiming Clark needed a 5th year to break it.
Bring back Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
That claim was flat out false. Clark broke the all-time NCAA scoring record in just 4 years, the same time frame as most college players. Swoopes conveniently ignored that. Under COVID eligibility rules, Clark could have stayed for a 5th year, but chose not to. Then, as Clark entered the WNBA, Swoopes confidently predicted she wouldn't dominate at the next level. But when Clark started smashing rookie assist records and proving herself as one of the league's elite playmakers, Swoopes suddenly went quiet. The stats told the story. Clark closed out her rookie season averaging 19.2 points and a league-leading 8.4 assists per game, silencing critics and earning Rookie of the Year honors.
I didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points.
Perhaps most telling was Swoopes' appearance on Angel Reese's podcast, where she continued to undermine Clark while simultaneously insisting she didn't dislike her. A textbook case of saying one thing and doing another.
In 1993, took her to her first ESPYs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, you know, there was this quote by Cheryl that said, you know, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate.
The basketball world began to take notice of the pattern. And eventually, Swoopes was pulled from broadcasting a Fever game, replaced by legend Nancy Lieberman, who didn't hesitate to call out the wave of misinformation targeting the rookie sensation.
As a friend, and I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. It's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone and I was like, Cheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. Right. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without.
The basketball world had been waiting for someone with real credibility to weigh in on the Caitlin Clark discourse. That moment arrived when Cheryl Miller stepped into the All the Smoke podcast studio and lit the critics on fire. What happens when a basketball legend who's actually coached Clark decides she's done with the noise? You get one of the most genuine, no-nonsense defenses women's basketball has seen in years.
No, Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. Yeah. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
Miller didn't just voice support for Clark. She brought fire and precision, the kind only a legend of her caliber could deliver. Her now viral message to critics like Swoopes was summed up in just two unforgettable words: come on, you big dummies. The studio erupted, but Miller was just getting started. She defended Clark's relentless work ethic with the conviction of someone who's witnessed it up close. This wasn't just another media figure chiming in. This was Cheryl Miller, one of the greatest to ever play the game, calling out the hypocrisy that's clouded Clark's rise. And then, she pointed to something the critics never seemed to mention.
Look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for her to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So, with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
It's the uncomfortable truth that Clark's critics refuse to acknowledge. Her presence has elevated the entire league, including the paychecks of those taking shots at her. Like it or not, Caitlin Clark has brought unprecedented attention, ticket sales, and viewership to the WNBA. Even her loudest detractors are benefiting from the spotlight she helped create.
Recently coached the WNBA All-Star game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best
ever.
coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience for her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is and how much she loves the game.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hated because of my skin color. Yeah.
What makes Miller's defense so powerful is that it isn't based on speculation. It's rooted in first-hand experience. After coaching Clark during the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, Miller had a front-row seat to assess her game beyond the highlight reels and media buzz. And what she discovered surprised even her.
She brought some on herself, a little bit, because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't.
I was both pleased and proud to see the narrative unravel. Miller exposed the truth, dismantling months of media spin with a single, cutting sentence. But she didn't stop there. She went deeper, offering rare and valuable insight into what truly sets Clark apart.
Watching her pass, and I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version, thinker. Defensively, a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids be themselves. Getting hit with everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her, I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this, use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what, keep being